I started since my age 31, so I'm now 36. It's more like 5 years ago, and suddenly I get interest into spiritual stuff, and so my first spirit that I hired is a fox spirit, because I don't know why. I just like fox spirits of the sudden. So I've been looking a lot of things in the internet, want to know about fox spirit or how to get one higher from them. But then the first spirit I get is actually from Thailand, where they bind to an amulet. Yeah.
That is so cool. I'm from Thailand. Yeah, my mom's from Thailand and my dad's from Laos. So there's a big spirit keeping community, especially in Southeast Asia. There's a lot of yes.
China becomes anti-spiritual, where the rule of Mao Zedong, they don't want to have any religion involved to the government controls, because religion is also one of the pulling country back down from improving. A lot of the Taoist priests, Taoist practitioners, they all retreat to South country and other countries because it's an execution if you practice those kind of stuff.
Wow. So they literally will like hunt you down and like literally like
yes,
kill
they
you?
will hunt. They will hunt.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, but now it's like more open where it's more to like where the religion becomes no power to control the country, to control the people. So it's more to government and controls the power. The ancient time, like England and France, they all controlled by religion, the Christians most, and the king also fear the religion. Kings are the government, kings and queens, they fear religion.
Oh yeah, that's something that I have seen where they've talked about King James and the witch's hammer, and actually teaching people how to torture people and pull information out of them and stuff.
Yes, they actually hunt practitioners, and they didn't burn all their data, their records, information, knowledge. They just copy everything and keep it to themselves.
What do you say about like the ancient, like in Asia there's lots of temples that dates back to Buddhist times, and even in Buddhist, like you'll see in Buddhism and even in Hinduism, there's shamans and people talking to other people who are spiritual, who consult with the divine sources and gods, like I know, like in China, like how we see monks, like the Shaolin monks, and how they use like spirituality into their combat, into protecting, whatever they're protecting in their temple. Like we see that kind of stuff in China, and it's really funny how a lot of times in China you have to connect to Buddhism, or you have to connect to the government. And a lot of times my dad's been telling me that too, like China, or especially in parts of Asia, how the government wants you to prescribe to what they want you to do. You know what I mean? I think it's unfair.
Yes. The biggest issue is spreading religion too, and the people who believes it. Of course, practice is better to have faith. It's like religion is more to like faith shelter, and is to train yourself and discipline yourself. Just like the martial arts, you train for your health, discipline for yourself. Same like magic practice. You use magic is just to experience and practice self-development, spiritual development. Using magic with respect, you don't just use to abuse it or just to like show off what you can do, or use it to bully someone else. It's not, and it's also not for the fame or money. You just do it for yourself, for your own improvement.
And so one of the first things that we, ask a lot of people who come on the show is we wonder if they allow visits for the services that you provide. Some people do, some people don't. Is that something that you do in your shop?
Customer is always welcome, but then customer also have to be smart what they're getting into. They must know what they are really gonna get. It's more like cause and effect. All actions have consequences. You must know what you're doing, what you're getting, and you must know whether you can use it or have hunch of it and ideas. What are you going to get and why you want to get those kind of stuff. Some people say spirit keeping is an expensive thing or expensive hobby. I don't think that kind of way. It's all based on the customer's budget, how much they're willing to pay, how much they're willing to sacrifice. And of course, get what you want. Don't just simply throw your money. The most important is our survivability is more important than any other thing else. You have to survive, to keep on learning, to keep on improving rather than throw money out. I prefer to do things not everyone people do. It's important to not to follow other people's do things, because if you follow, it's like more like copy everything the same. Everybody is become like a clone, nothing special to it. So
Exactly.
we don't need to have to actually.
Right. And when you when you're conjuring, where are you getting like the inspiration is it's like very intriguing on the listing that you have. Like it's like what you said, one of a kind, and it's unique, and it came from you. Can you like explain to us like where these ideas come from for your conjures? Because it is unique. You're right. Your conjures are different than other conjures that we know, and that's what makes Dredgen's store unique. It's just different, and you guys just need to check out his store. Understand that it's coming from a different place. I just love how eclectic Dredgen's store is, especially for protection. Can you talk to us about your inspiration for your conjures?
So let's say inspiration. Like before, just now I say, all first is creativity, and second is wisdom. You must be wise and have wisdom, because what your past experience will bring forward to the future. What you learn from before, everything's come from before and now, and can even bring it to the future. Wisdom can be used from the past, now, and future all the time, as long as you are living. The beings are special. I follow Lilith, the goddess Lilith. I It's more on equality. I don't and or any beings are very special. It's better to say is each of them has their own specialty, have their own traits. Even if they are from the same race, they have their own mindset, they have their own attitude. That's what it calls sentient beings.
Of course.
They are not like robot products, all the same thing from the same factory.
It's all different. It's all just different with you.
It's all different. No, nothing is the same. Everything can go separate, and the time just keep changing, and we also have to adapt the time changes.
Now, for your conjuration process, do you conjure alone, or do you have spirits or other human help? I did see a listing on the website for a summoner. So, like, is that another spirit that conjures for you? Like, how does that work, or what do you feel comfortable sharing about that process?
Of course, I don't mind to share. Conjures sometimes alone, sometimes depends. If the goddess that I work with, she specialized, like example Lilith, she specialized in succubus and incubus. So I will let her do the job. I'll pick the candidates for me. So most important is, like, you also have to have faith with your goddess who you're working with. It's more like a partnership and friends.
Do you feel as if it's discipline? Like, is it very disciplined practice with Lilith? Because I know that a lot of times people say that you have to be disciplined. Do you find it's that you have to be disciplined working with her as a conjurer?
People who doesn't treat themselves equal as the goddess they work with, that's the problem. That's why they always feel they are below the goddess and they have to do everything exactly as perfectly without mistake for the goddess. Otherwise, they get stabbed.
Yes.
You don't need to put yourself below everything, even though she is the goddess, because goddess living on the other side of the earthen realm. Let's say on earth you are mortal, but on the other side you are immortal too. You are the god too. So why make yourself lower than someone else? Lilith is equality. Why you put yourself below? And what she expecting you? But of course, if you put yourself higher than the gods, then they don't care about you. They don't even give a respect. They can just tell you get off or back off. That's kind of thing. Yeah. It is what if you become arrogant, they just leave you. So you have nothing else. You're nobody special. If you put yourself below, then you are free to get stabbed by them. You make yourself lower. That's the thing.
Right.
Are there any dangers with distance bindings? We've had some people who are a bit afraid of distance bindings, and they prefer to go with like binding to a vessel. So, what is your opinion? Like, is there a danger with performing a distance binding?
Direct binding, yes, there's a big difference, but it's more to client choices.
Of course.
If you really want to work with the spirit more direct, it's better to have a direct bind, because our human body is actually empty vessel. It's an empty vessel, but it's more to use for like a vehicle for the spirit to navigate on earth. Any spirit can drive your body, can become the driver's body, but you are the original owner of this vehicle. So in direct bind, you also can allow spirits to borrow your body and drive with it, and you can borrow their talents and skill. If you have facing any kind of problems or things you want to do, you can borrow their talents. Sharing a body. Okay, let's say a car can fit 5 person in a vehicle. If the driver tired, don't want to drive, they can let the other passenger to drive.
What makes your shop different than other spirit or conjure shops?
Many of the listing, I just don't write about the benefits of getting this or hire these beings. I will also put my wisdom in there. There are life lessons in the listing. It makes like something very unique where other practitioners will not write. Something people need to be aware of.
When it comes to conjuring, like, what is your specialty? Like, is there a particular species that you feel like you are like the authority on, or is there something that only you have for the most part?
Dragon is my specialty because on Earth I'm a human, a Chinese guy. That it doesn't matter much, a Chinese guy. But on the other side, I'm a dragon, almost like an emperor. Emperor status, but then I prefer to go down to be a prince, because when you become an emperor, you cannot walk out from your palace. You need to be always in the palace. But prince, you can do anything you want. Get out from the palace, do a lot of things. So dragon is my specialty. Aside from dragons, succubus and fox spirit, all beings have their own unique traits, so I can summon any of them. It's just like an apple tree. A client lists out what they prefer, what they want. The apple, they prefer sweet or sour or balanced sweet sour. Go with the listing and I see the apple tree, that's at Apple it's used for the client, I just plug from there. All around the universe, I just pick the right beings for them. If this universe don't have, I just find another tree, so another universe, and find it by myself. It's better to do like this way because you can choose who and the best which suits your client rather than open a portal and then wait for it. It random any species or being just come into the portal for nothing.
Are there any beings that you would prefer not to conjure? Like, are some, some that may make you feel uncomfortable or you might feel is dangerous?
No, there's no being I won't conjure, but it depends the client. If they really want it badly, well, it's their responsibility. I cannot do anything. I will warn them about that danger to have this kind of entity. So if they still take it, then it's not my issue. I just doing my job.
Has there ever been any drama with other, let's say, like I don't want to say competitors, but if you do have competitors, like I noticed that a lot of times when I go on forums and sometimes the Discord servers is just very, very intimidating because, one person might say, a conjurer might give them an empty vessel, and then all this drama is happening on Discord, and I was like, like that kind of deters other people away from it. But especially with drama in general, have you faced a lot of like backlash or just drama in general in the spirit keeping community?
Of course.
Oh wow!
A lot. But of course, especially when I'm first starting in this business, I get a lot out of these kind of things, and even astral attack, magic attack, all the curse, everything stuff. Yeah. Yes, it is. It does drain me a lot and stressful. A lot of stuff. Can't complain. If you want to get into something, you have to fight for it. Competitive race. Yes. Who's the winner? Who will stand on top of the hill? King of the hills. Yes. You have to fight. You have to race. You have to everything. If you want to do it, so you can't complain. You have to face a lot of challenges, tackle a lot of issue. If they want war, we give them war. If they want peace, well, we give them peace. If they want to backstab, I be looking at them. I have my eyes on you. I'll always be ready. Everything. Not everyone can be trusted. Not everyone, even like friends and families, some also betray us anyway. So important is to trust yourself, build your own confidence. Then no one can lie to you. No one can trick you or cheat you. Be firm on your own decision, on your own things. You have to know what you're doing, and you can explain what you're doing. Whether other people can accept or not is up to them.
We have a life coaching service, a spiritual life coaching service for spirit keepers, and I'm learning every day about like different beings. We just kind of like get them through a lot of attacks that they think that is like, going on, and we just research for them the methods of protection. And would you say protection is key in having a being in your keep, or just protection wards or any spiritual protection in general? Do you think that we should use protection in our practice?
Protection not always needed.
Okay.
It is. If you're powerful, you don't even need to be protected. And of course, a lot of people, they get into spiritual and suddenly they get attacked. Not like you always need to protect yourself on any those kind of things. But of course, fight if you must. But if you can't fight, then take it. It's more like taking the pain. No matter how much pain you take, it won't kill you anyway. Because on Earth we are mortal, but on the other side we are immortal. So the fighting is on the other side. we won't die anyway. So I don't think we need to worry a lot. But also important is to train ourselves to be able to fight. Don't always expect spirit can do everything. They have their own problems. They can face their own tragedy. It's important that you're not just getting into spiritual just to learn things, but you also have to face a lot of challenges, and you also have wants to not just hire the spirit and let the spirit do everything. I'm no need, I'm the boss. I no need to do all this. No, they are not your servant. They are actually companions, equal as you. The word spirit keeping, it sounds like a human who keeps spirit and feeding them food or whatever. It's more like having a pet in their house.
Oh, no.
I don't like that word spirit keeping. I shall call it a spirit companion or spirit partner. That's more equal than the word spirit keeping.
Have you had to help anyone with rehoming, it being that they have brought home, but it just didn't quite work out with them? And if so, like, is that a common thing?
I think this kind of thing a lot happens, especially from other shop. And famous reputable shop doesn't mean they have all the legit stuff. Being famous doesn't mean it's not fake at all. Don't follow the crowd says, because sometimes the crowd can be wrong. You have to believe in yourself. But of course, if you get cheated, don't be disappointed or don't be sad or anything. Take it as a lesson, because we all have to move on no matter what. Time is always moving forward. We have to do like what time's doing. Even if we did fall, but stay on floor too long, if we fall,
Right.
we have to keep moving on. Yeah. If no one push you, you have to push yourself. But of course, having spirit companion sometimes is good. They are your supporters, not your problem fixer. They are supporters only, like cheerleaders.
You did mention that, this practice is kind of frowned on. When you were born, like, what religion, like, was the entire area that you were born into? What was their main religion? Because it sounds like you did kind of bump up against some Christians and things too. So, like, what was the religion that you were expected to be when you were born, like, in your area?
I don't have religion actually in first place, but then I have uncles and aunt who try to pull me into Christian. But when I listen to those words like surrender your control, give God or do everything for you, manage your life, I was like, no. my seat, my throne, I navigate myself. I don't need God to do everything for me.
That's right, Johnson. That's right. That's right.
I can do it on my own. I have two hands, I have two legs, I have two eyes. I'm normal, 100% functional body. Why I need God to take over my life? It's more to like, if you surrender yourself to another power, then all your power's gone, and your your freedom is bye-bye. Which is, a lot of people say, I want freedom. Your freedom is already given to somebody else.
Right.
Yeah, if you really want to free yourself, you already have the key if you want to. You don't need to follow what other people do or believe what other people say. You can go on your own way. If you don't like them, always think about consequences, what will happen. Then you won't make some wrong decision. All good things actually have bad in it, and all bad things have good things in it. You just have to find out how the good and bad on all those opposite, then you know something is there and is trying to trick you, but you won't fall for it that easily.
Right. That statement that you brought up reminded me that I was talking to another conjurer, and we were talking about the Abrahamic and the Christian and the Catholic beliefs. And we were saying that, these the people that are in that religion dedicate every day to them, which is fine. But like Sundays, go to church. Praying over food, I guess that could be offering too. But instead of just worshiping one god or one pantheon, you should definitely look at your family and see, because sometimes you guys need time for yourself too, and for your keep too, or even for your religion. But at times people go very, very crazy with religion. Like, I have to go every Sunday. We have to do mass. We have to do this. And I always tell the Pathfinders in our programs, especially for the people who are Christian or who left Christianity, do you have time for yourself now? And they always told me this, Jajin, yes, I have time now for myself. So, adding on to that, yeah.
Religion for religion to exist is, I won't say it's a bad thing or a wrong thing.
Of course.
Because we must have something to believe at. Temporary face shelter. But yeah, if they don't have anything to teach you anymore, then isn't it's the time for you to look after yourself and
of course
live from the bird nest to build your own faith.
Now,
because most important is religion is only for yourself. You cannot religion on others. If you religion on others, you are enslaving others and controlling others.
That's true.
even though you are on the path of doing good things, well, enslaving is not a good thing already. Bye. No need to say anything anymore.
Definitely. Now, you did say earlier that you work with Lilith. So what would your religion be today? Like, do you work with a religion around her? Just work with her and it has no effect on your on whatever you would say is your current religion?
It's more like friend to friend talking. We don't need to take advantage on each other or who have to do this, who have to do that. We all have our own responsibility. Just do our job, share our how to say, I'm missing some words. Do sharing responsibility, yes. Sharing jobs, sharing responsibilities. There's no need to you have to do this, I have to do that. Who works more than and me, or who works more than and you? No, we don't on how to say, count a lot, or who is taking advantage of each other. Just go with the flow. Even if both husband and wife married together, all the housework also have to share together. There's no need to say who have to do this, who have to do that. Just make it equally, then you won't have any problems. You won't even complain. As long as everything complete, both satisfied. Yeah.
Now we do run into a lot of people on who basically reach out to us on the YouTube channel and the podcast. What advice would you give to someone who is new to spirit keeping? Like, let's say they're just on your website now and they want to make a purchase, but they don't know what to do. Like, how would you advise that person who, with them being a new spirit keeper?
It's important to do research first before purchasing anything, because money is also like your life saving and your survival ability, daily necessities. So it's important to spend a lot of time on research first before starting it. And for those who already got into it, of course, you have to face a lot different kind of things, and it is never easy. There's no such thing as easy or shortcut or something like paradise or Disneyland. No such thing. You have to face a lot of hardship. There's
Right.
a lot of pain and emotion breakdown due to our past teaching on earth from our teachers and parents. We all have to let go our past teachings and replace the new one. That's why we have to learn to teach ourselves to put new input knowledge, different knowledge that give you the advantage to grow and move on.
What he's saying too, guys, is get your fucking ducks in a row. To all of you guys who are viewing, and not only that, research too. Yeah, everything that he's saying, guys, is right on point. Get your stuff in check, and also do your research and know about you more. Like that's funny how you mentioned finances too, Dragon. I'm gonna bring that up to people now too. You know, make sure that you guys have your ducks in a row, and make sure too that this is the lifestyle for you. And I absolutely, Judge, and I agree with everything that you're saying 100%.
Because the truth is out there. No other truth. The truth
Yeah.
is everywhere. It's all about experience. From the experience that become wiser. So I just state all my experience, my past experience.
Right. So,
But of course, certain people won't agree because there's one type of person that is very toxic. Is the type self-righteous. They only think they are the right one. You are all wrong. That one is the most dangerous people I don't want to face.
and if we do face them, y'all gonna get kicked in the ass with our beings, okay? That's what we're gonna tell you. You guys get kicked in the ass.
Yes. If they want to cause problem or just like some other people they want to cause problem, we have to kick them out. It doesn't matter they want to complain about customer service quality, blah blah blah. No. You are toxic, you are poison, you don't pollute my peace. You don't pollute my temple. So I kick you out. I don't care whether customer service or whatever. I also have feelings too.
Right. So we're in the world is at a halt right now due to the pandemic and everything. How has COVID-19 affected your life as a conjurer or even in your spirit shop?
This is one of the very nice question. Very good question. No, it doesn't affect.
Okay.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Because if like I say, if you get involved too much about the world affair,
Okay.
then you bring all those affairs into your place. It's like okay, let's say you are the spirit, you are peace, but if you focus the world thinks too much, the world is actually chaos, then you bring chaos into your life.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of things aren't necessary that we have to bother too much around the world. What's happening? You see, every day people die. It's normal. What? Who said people cannot die? Why want to be so freaked out of everything? If I want to mention one thing, every 1 second, at least 40 people die. If you want some accurate statement, I can throw it out. Every 1 second, at least 40 people die around the world. So why so freak out about it? COVID. It's important to take care yourself. Don't worry too much, because humans like to bring things into themselves. They bring fear to themselves. They worry things because what they face in the chaos, they bring it into themselves. That's the problem, big problem.
Well, there you have that for you.
Now, when it comes to actually, bringing home a spirit companion or being considered, because I know you did mention that spirit keeping is a bit of a harsh term.
Right.
Would having a spirit companion be considered that person's slave? A lot of people feel that way. What do you have to say about that idea?
As long as as long as they don't treat the spirit like a slave or order them to do whatever things they demand, then it's not slavery. Yeah. But then other things, if the opposite, then it is slavery. But of course, I still don't like the word spirit keeping. And people must know you are hire a companion, not buy a companion, because I cannot do anything at my website shop. They just write buy this, buy that. That words I cannot change. It's their thing. But if it's come to mind, if I can customize my own website, my own shop, I shall put the word hire.
Right.
Yeah, I usually tell the people on the channel, I try to, sometimes I slip up and say that, but I usually try to say, like 90% of the time, I'll say that you're purchasing a contract.
Yes, purchasing a contract. People like me is like an agent. Yeah, I find spirit who wants to work with humans. So if the humans okay, sign contract, hired. You are hired.
Right.
Yeah. It's more like agents rather than practitioner or conjurer.
See, I hate the word. It's like, especially like spirit keeping and slavery too. It's due to the fact that, like I mentioned before, a lot of times we have people that are kind of like attacking the community when it comes to the term spirit, even using the word spirit companion, and especially on YouTube, spirit keeping it's getting up there on YouTube now. However, a lot of times
that word spirit keeping cannot be changed. It's all started because one of the first and most famous spirit practitioner done that.
Right.
And so everybody follows.
So for companionship, and other content creators are literally going against these other Discord servers, saying, "Oh, this conjure is an empty. This being is a empty vessel. I got nothing bound to my spirit. I have no communication." And usually, I just tell them, "Hey, just let it happen." And not only that, think about the being in the conjure, because at times I will tell my the Pathfinders or me doing spiritual life coaching that, perhaps maybe his way of your being's way, your companion's way of communication is different than how we communicate as humans, and just try it out, see if that works, work with him, research more about his region and where they were born, their being, and get a little bit more history about them. Usually they get more communication from that. I was like, see, that's what happens when you do your research.
In terms of communication, there's no specific way. Actually, it's 100% free way. You just have to find your own way, your own specialty.
Thank you, Johnson.
The way you connect. We don't restrict anything. We don't put rules on everything. Must use pendulum. Must use tarot card. Must use Ouija board. must sit and meditate. Don't move anything. Must not think anything in your mind. Come on now. We are free beings. We can make it. If we want to make it happen, we can make it happen. We are the magic. We direct magic. We don't let other people control us. It's more like we don't let money control us. We use the money instead. The practitioners say must this, must that, I don't care.
Right. So what do you say about these communities attacking spirit keepers in general? Like you mentioned, you get attacked too. Yeah.
Okay. If you get attacked, leave.
You leave spirit keeping in general?
Not
or spirit companionship?
No, leave the community.
Just leave, guys, he said.
It's just leave the community, but the spirit that you hired or whatever you already got, keep it.
Right.
But leave the community. If the community is at war,
of course
the war will even affect everybody's.
So do you think that these people are just kind of like looking for an opportunity, or even they're just like batshit crazy because their life is like horrible and they want all the community, you know, like there are those people, Drajan, that just want the community to suffer because, you know, they think that they got an empty vessel or empty companion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Most important is don't believe what anyone. Don't even believe the conjurer who hire being from them.
Okay.
Important is to develop your own skills. Then you can find out who is the one telling the truth.
Thank you.
Yeah. You must. That's why you must have your own skill. Otherwise, you listen to that ding dong say, "I'm telling the truth." Then another ding dong say, "I'm telling the truth." The other ding dong also telling the truth. Okay, who is the truth anyway? In the end, you have to rely on your own. You have to build your own skills. Otherwise, forever you always get cheated everywhere.
Right.
They are already toxic themselves. Humans are naturally very destructive among themselves. That's why human kill human and they nuke each other.
Right.
So better to leave them and go on your own, do things on your own, build everything on your own. We have to like self-discipline, self-control, self-cultivating, self-improving. Life is about yourself, not about them. Life is all about you. You don't need to kneel to any gods or whatever.
Right.
You have to cherish your life. You have to treat yourself how much important for you. But of course, if there are friends or people or family worth your time, worth your kindness, of course you give them. You won't abuse them, right? If they do something good for you, nice for you. But if those people out there like to throw grenades, throw bombs, of course we have to avoid this kind of people.
Of course. A lot of the viewers on YouTube and on our forum on kaijumgt.com, guys, that's KAIJU MGT.com. They ask, a lot of them are a little bit nervous getting into spirit keeping. Or spirit companionship, for that matter. Does one sell their soul to be connected to a spirit?
Yes, this can be very long answer. But of course, it's up to that person whether they want to sacrifice themselves. It's the same thing as the religion and the devil. Religion say you give up yourself, surrender yourself to God. You already sell your soul already.
Oh shit! I never even thought about that.
Yes, surrender yourself, give yourself to God, and God will manage everything for you perfect, very nice, but still your life is like that. So where is the nice thing? Don't be masochist. If it's pain, don't do it.
Now, how long have you created astral weapons and armor?
It's so long. Time and space doesn't exist in astral. I don't know how to count. But all I can say is maybe million or billion years.
Oh wow.
Because each universe, their timeline and can be ancient or futuristic or like our current world. It's very random. All the timeline and
So Jin, you're saying that you're a billion years old. Is that what you're saying? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
My voice sounds like uncle. or some people do call me old man. When I was 18 years old, they call me old man.
It could be
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, wise soul. You're a wise soul. We call them wise souls over here.
Why
You're a
so?
wise soul.
But anything, never mind. They can call whatever they want. I won't get offended because name, gender, rank, status, money, all this kind of thing is just an ego. But once you strip everything, it's nothing.
Right.
Once you strip everything, you strip away status, you strip away gender, you strip away whatever they have. You strip away the title CEO. In the end, they are nothing. They're actually nothing. So why want to be arrogant or want to show off or prideful with their own things?
I was gonna ask you something, Jajin. I'm just curious. Have you ever gotten? I know that people can request a lot of different beings, but has there been one where you actually laughed about it and be like, wow, this person's fucking crazy right now. Like, why would this person need this being in their life right now? They don't need this being. Have you ever had those kind of clients? If you can say, you can just say yes or no. If that's all you can do, you can say yes or no.
You mean by the particular race or attitude?
In general, like let's say that I come to you and I want something that will make me, I don't know, sexual 24 hours, 7 days a week, but
Okay,
make me
no.
seem like
No. Yes. Yes. The illogical requests a lot.
Okay.
The universe may have infinite possibility, but the universe still has the law that is fixed. I hardly remember all those stuff people request.
But I'm a serious comedian when it comes to like requests, because I always hear a lot of people on the forums talk about their beings, and people come in as outsiders, like people who don't believe, right, Drajan? And they're like, wow, this community is crazy.
Well,
And I tell everyone on the channel, is like, well, what's really crazy on my live streams, on my videos, and on the podcast, like, well, people are all different. There's things out there. I say rather do things in the spiritual side than express it in the real world. Like we can't really do half the things in the real world due to laws and policies and government. And in the spirit world, we can do a lot of stuff.
Of course, our Earth is very small compared to universe. You don't need to believe whatever people say.
Right.
Just put it like a test first. Don't instantly jump into. People say the pool is okay, and then you jump inside. Actually, very cold. My shop has offer. Feel free to visit, and of course, important is don't purchase anything yet if you're not sure. Always do your own research, because I'm always there unless I'm passed away. Time can wait. No worries. Time can wait. We have a lot of time. I'm not planning retire yet. I'm not planning my retirement very early. I still have long way to go.
Of course.
So even if you miss I offer discount 55%, there's always another time. No worries. Just like God doesn't age. Infinite age. So anytime can do. Because I also don't want people purchase something they regret. I worry my client and spending. I worry that they overspend until they cannot manage their own daily life. That's worse. Always take care of yourself first before others. If you can't, don't expect taking care of others.
Can we catch you on any other social media or YouTube or even like live streams or anything that you do?
I always in my Discord server. That's it. My previous YouTube channel, Prison Fantasy, there's a lot of information there. It's better to watch it just to increase the knowledge better than zero. Another thing I want to mention is if anyone does want to hire beings, make sure what you get from the agent is the being photo name. That's it. That's all. That's all. That is very good enough. Name and picture of the being, because picture is for you to imagine them. Is for you to practice to see them, and the name, of course, human or has one of the disadvantage things is that to rely on name to address something. So a name and a picture is very important to get from any kind of agent, practitioner, or conjurer. If they don't have that, no, don't hire.
Right.
Otherwise, it's more like you hire nothing because you already can't see anything. So if you get like a stone or the description, there's no picture or name, it's very hard to do any other things if you can't see or can't feel.
It's a really great way to manifest too, Pathfinders. Look at the photo and manifest that and envision your being.
Yes. And of course, once you have the picture, you have to practice, like test the human five senses on your imagination. Test with your beings. Ask them to touch you or to make something like food for you to taste or smell. You see them is important, because imagination is not enough. Imagination can be delusion, but once you can feel their touch or you can taste the thing they made or smell what they do, then it's gonna build your confidence. Sometimes the food can taste like hot or cold. You can feel it once input into your mouth, went to your stomach. You can feel that at hot or cold.
Well, yes, Judge, thank you so much. This was amazing, like, to interview you. Like, you have no idea, like, people, this is so amazing. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, we can have you. Appreciate your time so much.
No worries. Same to you all for taking your time to make all these questions and to bring it to me.
That's all we have for tonight. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you again.
Sure, no problem. Right. Thanks. Thank you to you both too. You both have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much.
And of course, don't worry too much about the world affairs. Otherwise, you start with the pool of chaos.
Of course. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you so much, Ranjin.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.